In this, we'll see what is meant by lower bound, upper bound, greatest lower bound, and lowest upper bound. These are the concepts required to know whether a hash diagram represents a lattice or not. In order to learn that, first of all, we should learn this what is meant by lower bound and upper bound, greatest lower bound and lowest upper bound. Whenever a poset and a subset has been given, how we will identify with respect to the hash diagram. Let, for example, S is a poset on the relation less than or equal to, and from this we have drawn a subset, S small subset, that is subset, and over the relation less than or equal to the same relation. Whenever we draw this, if we pick up an element called Y which belongs to the poset, and an element from subset which is called X which belongs to the subset, if these two have been taken, then for all X, if Y is less than or equal to X, then that particular X value is said to be the lower bound. For all X, if the X value is less than or equal to Y, and it is called upper bound. Here you need to focus on the condition here, less than or equal to. Since the poset is reflexive and transitive and also antisymmetric, so this condition holds, this is less than or equal to. Now we'll see an example to understand better. Let S is equal to 2, 3, 6, 12, 24, 36 are the elements of a set, and here is a poset defined, and this is a simple description was given here: 2, 6, 3, 6, 6, 12, 12, 24, 12, 36. Along with this one, you are supposed to add the reflexive, like 2, 2, 3, 3, 6, 6, all these things, antisymmetric and transitive. But in case of when you are drawing the hash diagram, we will remove this reflexive, antisymmetric, and these things. This transitive kind of thing. Then we will form the hash diagram like this. So 2, 6, 3, 6. So 2, 3, 6. Okay. So from bottom from top to down, the elements should decrease. The elements will be decreasing in the order. So 2 and 3, 6, 6 and 12, and 12, 24, 36. It's a kind of division relation. So 2 can divide 2 can divide 6, 3 can divide 6, 12 can divide 6, like that. So this particular hash diagram. Now we need to calculate the lower bound and upper bounds. Lower bound. If we look at lower bound, how to calculate this? Here given the subset is S is equal to SA is equal to 6, 12. Now we need to identify the lower bound for 6. So if you calculate lower bound for 6, 6 can also be included because it is less than or equal to symbol condition. So 6, and what are the elements which are less than 6 available in the hash diagram? 2 and 3. While coming to this value 2, we can include 2 because we can say 2 is less than or equal to, and null, nothing is available. Next 3 and null. So can we compare 2 and 3? We can compare 6 and 2 because there is a edge between 6 and 2. We can compare 6 and 3 because there is an edge between 6 and 3. But we cannot compare 2 and 3. The reason is there is no edge between 2 and 3. Hence, what we are supposed to do is we cannot have the comparison between 2 and 3. So whatever the set we will find for the 6 will become the lower bound. So lower bound is equal to 2, 3, 6. So all the elements are less than 6 in the lower bound. The same thing in while coming to the greater bound. So consider 12. 12 can be considered because 12 can be considered as 12 because it is y less than or equal to x. So 12 can be considered. Next, what are the higher elements that can be reachable from 12? Those are 24 and 36. While coming to the 24 can be included because it's a reflexive. 36, it can be included because it is reflexive. But 24 and 36 cannot be compared. So hence, we cannot compare this because there is no edge between 24 and 36. We cannot compare these two. That is the reason the set what we will get for the 12 will be considered for the upper bound. So upper bound will become the set 12, 24 and 36. This will be the upper bound. Now from upper bound, what is the lowest element? In this upper bound, what is the lowest element? 12 is the lowest element. Hence this 12 is said to be, in this 12 is said to be lowest upper bound, or we can also say LUB, lowest upper bound. What is the greatest number in the lower bound? What is the greatest element in the lowest upper bound? So here 6 is there. This is said to be greatest lower bound, or we can also say this is GLB. With this, we come to know what is meant by lower bound, upper bound, greatest lower bound, and lowest greater bound. Now we'll move on to the other examples to understand this concept better. Here, second example that we'll consider, this is 2, 4, 12, 8, and 24. This may be the less than or equal to relation. And here a subset was given, that is 4, 8, and 12. Now we need to calculate the lower bound and upper bound. The subset defined is, subset is equal to 4, 8, 12. Now let us consider 4. So the lower bound is 4 because 4 can be considered as reflexive. 4, 8, if we consider 8, then 8 can be considered because it is reflexive. Below 8, one element is there called 4. According to the diagram, here below 4, there is an element called 2. 2 is available. And 8, 4, below 4, there is an element called 2. Next 12. So if it is 12, then 12 can also be considered. And 4, below 12, 4 is there. Below 4, 2 is. So what is the common element in 4, 8, and 12? What is the common element available in 4, 8, and 12? So in 4, 2, 4, in 8, 2, 4, and in 12, 2, 4. So this is the lower bound, 2, 4. In the same way, upper bound, if you look at 8, with 8, what are the elements you can reach in the diagram? 24. With 12, what are the elements you can reach? 24. With 4, what you can reach? is 12, 8 and 24. Anyhow, what is the common element in both the in the three elements? From 8 you can reach 24, from 12 also you can reach 24, from 4, 8, 12 and 24 is there. So 24 is common in three elements. So hence the upper bound is equal to 24. Now we'll come to the greatest lower bound. Greatest lower bound. So out of 2 and 4, what is the greatest element in this lower bound? That is 4. Lowest upper bound, but in this upper bound only one element is there. Hence we'll consider this as the only element as the lowest element. Now we'll move on to the next example. Here an example was given just like the first example. A, B, C in the top side, in the bottom side X, Y, Z, which is on the less than or equal to relation. Now A comma Z was given for getting the solving the lower bound, upper bound and GLB and LUB. If you consider Z, so what are the elements less than Z? X, Y and Z. And while coming to the A, upper bound will be A, B and C. So from the lower bound set, what is the greatest lower bound? Greatest lower bound here is Z. Z will be the greatest lower bound, and this greatest lower bound is also called as infinium, whereas lowest upper bound is called as supremum. And here in the upper bound, what is the least element or lowest element? A. So GLB is Z and LUB is A. Like that, we'll see another example. So here same example like previous one, that is in the first example, but it was added with 1 here. Now these two were added with 1. Now the set is considered as 6 comma 12. Below 6, for 6 2 is there. 6 is connected with 2, 3 and 1. 6, you can also add 6 because reflexive. 6 with 2, 3, 1, which are the elements below 6. While coming to 2, below 2 is 1. While coming to 3, below 3 is 1. So out of, while coming to 6, 6 below are 1, 2 and 3. So here we are going to consider from 6. See, 1 and 2 is not included in this set. So hence the lower bound is like this: 1, 2, 3 and 6. While coming to the upper bound, for 12, from 12 you can reach to 12 and also to the 24 and 36. So upper bound can be defined as 12, 24 and 36. Next one is, what is the greatest lower bound? Here GLB is 6, and what is the lowest upper bound? Here LUB is 12. So in this way we are supposed to solve the problem. Next we'll see one more example, 2 comma 3 comma 6. So we need to consider the element below 2 and also element below 3 and also element below 6. So the lower bound will be 1 because only one element is there below 2, 3 and also 6. While coming to the upper bound, 6 and above, 6 can also be included, also 12, 24 and 36. So from the lower bound, greatest lower bound is, since here only one element is there, we are supposed to consider this one as the greatest lower bound, as well as lowest upper bound. Here 6 is the lowest upper bound. Now if the subset 6, 12, 24, 36 is given, now the elements below 6 are 1, 2, 3, 6. Here there is no problem in this. But while coming to the upper bound, 6, from 6, what are the elements can be reached? 6, we can reach 12, 24 and 36. From 12, we can reach 24, 36. But 24, we cannot reach anything. On 24, there is no element above 24, hence it is null. When null was present, we cannot get the common element to reach from 6. So that is the reason the upper bound will become null. So thereby no lowest upper bound we get. Even though we got the lower bound, we don't get the upper bound because there is no common element to reach from 6. And also there is a common element, obviously 12 is there to reach from 6, and from 24 we cannot reach anything, and from 36 also we cannot reach anything because 24 and 36 cannot be compared since there is no edge. So here in the entire set, the maximum element is 36 itself. So from 36, is there any other element to be reached? If in that direction also, if you look at, it will be null. Next, we'll move on to another example. This is one more example in which the subset is D, E, F. While coming to the D, is there any element below D available? So obviously B is there, but E, while coming to the E, below E, nothing is there, null. F, below F, is there an element is there? B is there, but this E and B cannot be compared because there is no edge. Hence lower bound becomes null. While coming to the upper bound, the F, from F, which can be reached? I, and what are other things can be reached? D, E, F, okay, from F only I can be reached, but from I nothing can be reached. From D, G can be reached, but G and I are not connected. From E we can reach I. So that is the reason upper bound will become null. While coming to this A comma C, A, lower bound, nothing is there below this, null. C, below this also null. So that is the reason lower bound will become null. From C, what you can reach? H can be reached. So upper bound will become H. So only one element is there, which will become the lowest upper bound. While coming to the another set, B comma D, B and D are there. While coming to the B, below this B nothing is there, but for D, what is the lower bound? Under this D, B is there, so lower bound will become B. While coming to the upper bound, from D we can reach G, and D can also be included because of the reflexivity, D comma G. So in this lowest upper bound is D, greatest lower bound is B. We'll consider another example. This is the hash diagram, and the subset given is C comma E, in which the lower bound will become C. See, from C, what are the elements can be reached? C, from C, because of the reflexivity, C can be reached, and as well as A can be reached. So C and A, though these two things can be reached from the lower bound. So that is the reason A comma C, and whatever the elements are there in the A comma C are less than the E. So hence we can include these two. Next, upper bound. From E, what are the things can be reached? From E, F can be reached. From E, G can be reached. From E, H can be reached. From H, J can be reached. Also, I can be reached. So I, J, G, F, G, and E. So these are the elements that can be reached with E. So hence, we have included all the things in the upper bound. From this upper bound, what is the lowest element? E. From the lowest bound, what is the greatest element? C. The same way, B comma I, where B is here and I is here, and there is no connectivity from B to I. So just by looking at that, we can say we cannot achieve the upper bound. And since B is there, for the B, the lower bound you can get is A, because A is lower than the B, so we can add it in lower bound. From greater bound, from I, we cannot reach any other element. Okay, so it will become null. Hence, this upper bound will become null. So you won't get the lower bound, lowest upper bound here. So this is not an example of lattice, because a lattice require every pair of element should have at least the lowest upper bound as well as greatest lower bound. If every pair of the elements in the given hash diagram consisting of the lowest upper bound as well as the greatest lower bound, then such hash diagram is also said to be lattice, or that hash diagram represents lattice. So in the examples discussed so far, this particular diagram, that is example 6, won't form the lattice. At the same time, the fifth example, in the fifth example also, for the subset B and D, we got the lower bound and upper bound as well as the greatest lower bound and lowest upper bound. But for the pairs A comma C, we got a lower bound as null, and we cannot get the greatest lower bound. So that is the reason this particular diagram will also not represent lattice. At the same time, this particular diagram, we have tested for the pairs 12, 6. Here we got the greatest lower bound and lowest upper bound. And for the 2, 3, 6, still we got lower bound, upper bound, GLB and LUB. While coming to this subset, we didn't get this. So that is the reason this diagram will also not represent the lattice. While coming to this diagram represents for the pairs A comma Z, it is giving you the upper bound and lower bound. But for A comma B, okay, this diagram will not represent, will not provide you the upper bound. That is the reason this diagram will also not form lattice. And this diagram, for every pair, we will get the lower bound and upper bound. If you can calculate, you calculate on paper, so you will come to know for every pair we will get the lower bound and upper bound, and this diagram will form a lattice. So this example 1 is a kind of example 3 type. So we decided that it is also not lattice, and here also we can simply decide this is also not lattice, because for the pairs 12, 36 we won't get the upper bound. So that is the reason this example 1 will also not form the lattice. While coming to the example 7, this is another example. Here the subset 3, 4, 5 was given from this hash diagram. Is this forms lattice? So let us go for the upper bound, lower bound calculation. Below 3, any element is there, 1 and 2 is there. So 3, 1 and 2 can be included in the lower bound. While coming to the upper bound, from 4, what are the elements can be reached? 6, 8, 7, like this. So from 3, 4, 6, 8, 7 can be reached. From 4, 4, 6, 8, 7 can be reached. From 5, 5, 6, 8, 7, 8 can be reached. From 3, you can also include 3 here. 3, 4, 6, 8, 7. But from 3, 4, 5, what are the common elements? If you look at 6, 7, 8 is there. So 6, 7, 8 are the elements that can be reached from this 3, 4, 5. But the main problem is whatever the upper bound we got, that cannot be comparable, because 6, 7, 7 cannot be comparable because there is no edge between 6 and 7. Hence, there is no path from 6 and 7. Hence, we cannot take the lowest upper bound. So the lowest upper bound will become null in that case. So that is the reason when the lowest upper bound becomes null, according to the definition of lattice, a hash diagram can be considered as lattice if for every pair of element there should be a lower bound and a lowest upper bound, and there should be a greatest lower bound. So in this example 7 case, this is not satisfied. Hence, example 7 will also not represent the lattice. While coming to the example 8, will it represent the lattice? Obviously, it will represent the lattice. For every pair, you will get the lower bound and upper bound, as well as greatest lower bound and lowest upper bound. So you can go for calculation and you can get it. Here are some more questions. Here S is equal to A comma B comma C is the set, and if you represent the power set of S over the subset, will it form lattice? So power set is nothing but the empty set A, B, C, AB, BC, CA, ABC. So all combinations are there. So obviously the main set is the subset of other set. So if you form a diagram, it will form a lattice. So every pair of nodes will be having lower bound as well as upper bound. While coming to this question, so this is a typical diagram already we have seen previously, but how to understand whether it is a lattice or not? If you look at D, from A we can reach the we don't have the lower bound. If you take the pair of D comma A, for A we don't have any element below this, and for the upper bound we have D, E, B, and here assume that there is another element called F. So but from F to E there is no connectivity, so hence it will give you the non-determinism, that is from which path we are supposed to reach, so that we can have the pair of F and E. So here there is no path between this, so that is the reason upper bound we may get, but the lowest upper bound we will not get. That is the reason this diagram will not form a lattice. So by this time you come to know what is meant by upper bound, how to calculate upper bound, lower bound, greatest lower bound, and lowest upper bound. And a hash diagram can be represented or can also be said to be a lattice for if this condition holds, that for every pair of the element in the hash diagram there should be it should form at least a lower bound, lowest upper bound, and a greatest lower bound. In such cases we can call it as a lattice, and this lattice is the base for the digital logic design or digital circuit design.